Welcome to The Informant, the podcast that talks about anything and everything. We cover from sports, religion, politics, social, you name it. I'm your host as ever, Doc McLeod. So without any further ado, let's delve right into it. Good day, my good people. I hope I find you well wherever you are. If you're in Australia, good morning. If you are in America, good afternoon. If you are in United Kingdom and Africa, Zimbabwe, southern part, good evening to you. Once again, I just thought let me bring you some updates pertaining to what's on the ground. At times I have to go through comments and then watch one or two people so that I bring what I call relevant answers to some unclear questions that people might be having. First and foremost, I've heard people talking about the removal of the sitting president, Emmerson Mnangagwa. Let me tell you what's happening here. As much as some people want him out, these are the technicalities that you need to understand. He has said he now wants to finish his term. Reason he's saying that if he leaves now or is forced out of office now, he will not enjoy the presidential benefits. You only enjoy those presidential benefits if you have managed to serve your full 2 terms in office. Henceforth, you see even people that's close to him and those who are not even, some who are not even supporting him, they are saying he must square off this talk of 2030 agenda and the extension of the term. All he wants, why he's pushing for the extension of the term, right, or why people are pushing for the extension of the term, it's because they want him to complete his 2 terms. Remember, after ousting of the late president, Comrade Gabriel Mugabe, the term that he served is not considered as a served term. His term started from the elections of 2018 to 2023. That was 1 term. Now from 2023 right up to 2028. If he completes up to then, he would have completed his 2 terms. Automatically, that qualifies him to enjoy the presidential benefits of a monthly salary, the package that comes with it, until the day he dies. So it's not easy for him just to step out or to step back before he finishes the 2nd term. I just thought I'd make that point clear so that people don't just continue to talk. We want to talk sensitive things. At times, I know I say things that other people don't want to hear, but it's good I always continue to tell you the truth, enlighten you to 1 or 2 things. The minute you know these things, you technically know how to approach these political problems or challenges. Right. It is now touted that we have got Kudata Gwire, who's now being fast-tracked into the system. That's number 1, they want him in the Politburo. Number 2, they are saying he's aimed to be the next anointed president after Comrade Emmerson Mnangagwa's term is expired. Why? The reason they are pushing for him to be anointed or appointed or voted as the next president, it's because it is said, believed and understood that he is there to protect the interests of the sitting president. His businesses, his contracts, his deals, everything, plus above all his protection. Because don't forget what Comrade Geza said. He pointed some certain things that are very sensitive, that does not allow anyone to just step off. He said, I quote Comrade Blessed Geza, "You have been using Owen Muda to kill generals and they have been dying year in, year out. It is you, Emmerson, who was causing all of this." I unquote the words of Comrade Blessed Geza. Such words might just be words to a general person like you and me, the electorate, the general electorate. But to people that know, these are words. If the president steps out now, he can be incarcerated because of these words. He will be forced to be put for trial to face up to all these challenges. So that's why I was saying at one point that what Blessed Geza had said are very, very tough words. Some words you don't need to say them on public domain because they will bring a challenge soon after or at the resignation of the sitting president. Pressure will mount that he be tried for whatever would have been claimed or was claimed by Blessed Geza. So I want you to take note of that. Then number two, there's a post or a document that has gone rampant about the cancer machines and whatever. I think what people are now doing is they are listening to what we are saying. And once we say that, they are trying to counter it with fake documents. I had quite a number of people call me to try and verify. And I said, I'm not aware of the document. The only thing that I said on this channel just about 3-4 days ago, I said, be prepared that the hospitals are now going to be renovated and medication is going to be made available. And this is not going to take long before it is announced. And soon after saying that, a day or two before, people are already posting fake documents. Those documents, I could not comment on them because I did not produce those documents. The minute you see me produce a document, let me tell you 100% or 99.9%, I would have gotten it from a very trusted source. So I just said the hospitals are going now to be renovated. And at the very same time, medication is going to be made available. And that's when the following day you saw the president appearing at the hospitals, having a look and starting to move from hospital to hospital. He has gone to Harare Hospital. He has gone to Salim Gabe Hospital. He has visited quite a number of hospitals. He's doing rounds. He's moving without the motorcade, just making surprise visits. It's all because of what I told you is now in the pipeline, ready, about to be announced. So take note of that. Right. There is an issue here. The issue, I spoke about it, I think about 2-3 weeks ago. I said, Chris Mutsvangwa, Honorable Manize, and Comrade Blessed Geza, they are close buddies. If you remember very well, I told you that. Some of these people, I know them. They are close buddies. That's henceforth you heard Honorable Mutsvangwa saying, Geza, come back, Dzoka kumusha, Dzoka titauri. He was saying, come back, let's have a round table over this issue. Reason being, whatever Honorable Mutsvangwa plans to do, because he's also a vying candidate for the presidential. This I should let you know. He is one of the names to be put in that are going to be put in the hat for their intention to become the president of Zimbabwe. So he needs a person like Blessed Geza. He knows what part he plays. He knows the role that guy can play. They know each other from way back. Now the biggest challenge that's there was Comrade Honorable Mutsvangwa and the Vice President Chiwenga. They are not in good books because it's two candidates that are vying for the same position. Henceforth, you see head on. I told you, remember Neville Mutsvangwa was put in prison, right? It was because of the VP's powers that he exercised over Neville. That was just to prove to Honorable Manize, Comrade Mutsvangwa, that I have got powers, don't undermine me. No wonder there was that tug of war. But don't forget, Comrade Mutsvangwa has always been, has gotten serious allegiance with the sitting president. Henceforth, you also got Neville Mutsvangwa being pulled out. The powers are somewhat shared. They are not equal, but they are somewhat shared because of every person's background within the Zanu-PF. It is very important we take note of that. So, where we are going now, as much as the sitting president now wants Kudata Gwire to be the candidate vying or the one to be anointed for that position or to be voted or to be made popular so that he be voted to become the next president of Zimbabwe, it's not sitting down well with Comrade Manize because he's also a candidate. Now, having said all of this, let me bring you to the matrix of politics, especially within Zanu-PF or within Zimbabwe. Today, Comrade Blessed Geza, Geza, has tweeted and said, We will never have anyone without war credentials to go into the State House. He is saying this, pointing to Kudata Gwirei, because he doesn't have the war credentials. He never went to war, right? Don't forget, this is also the same statement that was once said by my once favorite, best buddy, Comrade Shinotimba, who said we would rather increase the years of presidents up to to be minimum 60 years. By then he was speaking because he was trying to lock out Nelson Chamisa. This time they've got somebody who's coming from within now the party, who's of a younger age. Now, because of that, looking at Tagwire's age, it's not easy for them to start to talk about 60 years and above. They are now looking at a person with war credentials. This is what everyone has been saying, especially these generals when they are doing their campaign for Zanu-PF. They say we will never submit to anybody without war credentials. I'm going to bring this issue when I look at Advocate Nelson Chamisa. I know his supporters don't want anyone to talk about him, but allow this platform to approach him on your behalf with questions. And these questions should make sense to you, should open your minds, should open your hearts, so that you know exactly what to expect before you start to vie before a man. The people, the war veterans, have spoken. They don't want anyone without war credentials in the State House. It is on Comrade Blessed Runesu Geza's tweet today, I think about 11 hours ago. So considering this is what he has said, and he has had people that were backing him, those people, I call them orphans, those that were left by Advocate Chamisa after whatever was said to have election stolen, and he just went on to sabbatical and never came back to address the people. Now the very same people who were left fatherless, they are the ones who are now backing Comrade Geza. And remember, I told you, Comrade Geza never went out of Zanu-PF. He is fighting from within Zanu-PF. And he is now talking about not even prepared to have somebody being anointed as a president who does not have war credentials. As much as he's talking to Kudata Gwirei, you must also know that this statement is also pointed to Nelson Chamisa. Don't exclude him. So before a person of Nelson Chamisa comes in to say, I want to put together a party, questions have to be asked. Do you have the war credentials that the system will support? Because if you don't have the war credentials, there is now somebody who's financially well up more than you, who's Kudata Gwirei. As much as people might not want Kudata Gwirei, this is now the time they've got to start to compare him with Nelson Chamisa. Reason being, whatever Nelson Chamisa wants to provide, Kudata Gwirei can also provide. But the problem is Kudata Gwirei is the anointed person, or is looking to be the anointed candidate of the sitting president. Nelson Chamisa has always had people because he was handed over the people by the late Morgan Changirai. Now look at the position that we are left facing up to. Comrade Mutsvangwa wants Blessed Geza because they've got a hands-on connection. They know how to work together. And one thing you must know about Comrade Mutsvangwa, some people might not understand him because I know he's a lead guitar when it comes to speaking. He is a keyboard pianist when it comes to speaking. He is full of words, big words and many words. And at times, I know my father, he doesn't know when to draw the lines. He can just say anything and everything. Whether he's paining people or telling the truth, there's a way he says it, which needs to be toned down a bit. But still, that does not stop us from raising questions where questions are due. Comrade Mutsvangwa, why he's so much touted by the war veterans? He is one of the few educated war veterans. So it was easy for him from the time of the late Robert Gabriel Mugabe to current, that he was one person who was easily thrown to become an ambassador in different countries. He speaks more than one language. His communication is perfect, if not sound. Number two, his engagement is perfect, if not sound. He is the one who is easily connected to people from outside. If it's China line, it is him that has got that serious connection. It is him that speaks that language. It is him that is trusted by those people the more. So that's what gives him power for him to continue to be that very much talkative. You have seen him serving as the leader of the war veterans. You have seen him serving as an ambassador in different countries, including China, like as I have told you. At the very same time, you have seen him still serving as the spokesperson of the presidential office. He has also been the spokesperson of the war veterans. He has taken all these sensitive positions and has served in them. That's what gives him power and excels him to be above many people like Comrade Mahia, Comrade Matemadanda. Those do have war credentials, but when it comes to education, Comrade Maznize stands out at the top. Number 2, there won't be anyone before we find number 3. I'm just joking in regards to that. But anyway, right. So let's look at the rise of Kudata Gwirei. The war vets, they are divided because of the reason, the reason that is set for the rise of Kudata Gwirei. People that are attacking the sitting president, aided or headed by the spokesperson of Comrade Geza, they are from within the war veterans, the other divide of the war veterans within Zanu-PF. And Kudata Gwirei has gone to finance the war veterans. At one point, he gave them to the tune of $500,000 just for their projects. At the very same time, he has promised them some little giftings or some big giftings according to them. The timing is very key. The timing is critical. At a time when people are starting to talk, that's when Kudata Gwirei stands up and starts to give all these donations to the war vets. Has he managed to win them over? Is he still trying to win them over? Are they not just taking the benefits and still going on to vote against him? Who are they going to stand with? Let's say a vote is being conducted. Will people stand with the Geza revolution? Will people stand with Gwirei considering the gifts that he has given? And will they stand with Comrade Geza because of the war bond that they have had for a long time? Questions and answers needs to be sought before we see the path going forward. Right. What has caused all this? What has caused all this? This friction that's going round, that has led to the emergence of the M31, led by a spokesperson by Blessed Geza, but touted to be led by the vice president, Comrade Constantine Guveni, Dominic Chiwenga. Although he has never spoken, let me tell you, on almost every day, the vice president and the president are in constant communication. They might not be communicating on good books, but they are in constant communication. We now know that definitely there's friction. There's nothing to hide there anymore. What has caused this tension? Believe you me, I have been told there was a gentleman's agreement between the two before the ousting of the late Robert Gabriel Mugabe. It was said, from what I'm told and well informed, that at the end of the tenure of the sitting president, he was now going to anoint retired General Constantine Guveni, Dominic Chiwenga, as the next president within the Zanu-PF, and he'd be voted at the elections. Because if he had taken it during that time, it was going to be considered a coup. But in the process, he aided the insurgents, he aided the incoming of the sitting president, Comrade Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa. And now the time is almost coming to an end for the 2 official terms that they expect the sitting president to be serving. But it is said not to be comfortable for the sitting president to anoint Constantine General Chiwenga for one reason: he will not protect his business interests. That's where the challenge is. And once that happens, they are saying it's also going to divert from the legacy of the sitting president current to another different regions, something that they are fighting for. But I think it's still going to escalate. One has not spoken, the other one also hasn't spoken, but it is Comrade Manize who came and said it all out on domain. So we caught what he said, and we inquired, quoting what he had said. The challenge, according to what was explained to me, the challenge is, When they came in at the ousting of the late president, Comrade Robert Gabriel Mugabe, a lot was being done on trust. But the White City Stadium bombing changed the dynamics of things. And also the poisoning of the VP, Vice President Constantine Guvea Nyikadzino Dominic Chiwenga. It changed the dynamics. Trust evaded. Nobody started to trust anybody. With the sitting president, he knew that his life was endangered and he was also bombed out of life. At the very same time, this vice president knows that he survived by a wisp after being poisoned. So at the end of the day, the person who came to speak about all this we caught was Comrade Blessed Geza. Everyone else was just sitting on assumptions. But when it was said by Comrade Geza, we start to quote from there because he's the mouth that has been opened to the nation to speak everything out. So we cannot be held accountable for what we are saying now, but we are quoting the real players that said the same things. Because of that, during that time, the dynamics changed. And it was all about lining security to try and make sure that nobody gets close to you or kills you or attempts to kill you again. Because at this point in time, the first life seemed to have gone, but they believe they've both been given a second life. So in this second life, this is where the tension is built. Now the position that we have is, it is said from since that time to current, a lot of changes were ringed, especially within the systems. The Zimbabwe National Army, the Zimbabwe Republic Police, the prisons, the courts, the law courts, at the very same time, the intelligence, the whole of the ZDF, let me put it that way. A lot of changes were ringed. And while a lot of changes were ringed and other people were eliminated, as according to Comrade Geza, the people that were being put there are the ones that's making the system to be very difficult to crack. No wonder why you are just hearing in gossip circles that there's a lot of tensions within the barracks, and the tensions are pushing the army to say, let's remain neutral, let's not back anybody, because the ZNA, Zimbabwe National Army, it now started to have serious divides. That's why you saw a person that was taken from the intelligence right into the military. And it is said the very same person, other people are refusing to salute him. I will come with that on another episode. They are saying within the barracks, people are refusing to salute him. They are saying he's from the intelligence and he's not from within the soldier ranks. So that's an issue that I will explain about in another totally documentary. So because of that, and the change of these rings, appointment and appointments, pruning of people, it has made it to be very difficult. So it's now counting to who has how many people, who is with who. That's where the biggest challenge is. Come to the last thing for today. General Sanyatwe, he said to have sold out the struggle. Reason being, all this time, like I told you, all this time, he was believed to be on the side of VP Chiwenga. Comrade Geza actually believed they were together with General Sanyatwe. When he was demoted from the army to be brought into, where is he now? Is he in football? Yeah. All that, they believed it was a tactical move to try and see who was going to make contact with him, believing that he has also been ousted. But they have realized that politics has been politicked here and people have been played up. This is according to some information that I'm getting. They said after his demotion from the military into the Minister of Sports, it is said it was a play-up to try and see who's going to side with him, to tell him that, you know what, we used to tell you, the sitting president Emerson didn't like you, come to our side. It was like a trap. But why is it being said to be a trap at this point in time? Because it is at the conference of where Kudata Gure was addressing, that General Sanyatwe spoke his support for Kudata Gure. It also continued to break what could have been insurgents within the M31. No wonder why you heard Comrade Blessed Geza say, we have got a problem and we are trying to deal with it. These are some of the problems that he was talking about. Certain people that they had trusted, they have come to realize that no, these people are not on our side, especially with the act of General Sanyatwe anointing, appointing, giving full support to Kuda Tagire. Blessed Brunesu Geza comes in and is shouting to say, any person without war credentials cannot be allowed into the State House. How long are we going to wait before we get somebody without war credentials into the office? Because as long as these war veterans are there, that remains their stance. And why am I saying this? They are the ones who are also holding onto the system because they are part of the system. Remember, I told you about JOC. They are very influential on that board. These war veterans you hear speaking. So, even if Advocate Nelson Chamisa is to form a party, let me tell you, I still feel personally it will be a waste of time as long as this is not addressed. Because all before, this is what I've been saying, that you must understand and ask, has he managed to unlock the system? How? There's nothing to hide. This is politics. You need people, you tell them, sell your idea, sell your mantra, sell whatever you're believing you carry to make people be convinced that you're worthy following. If these are not explained, you still have got a big challenge. And the big challenge needs to be broken. We don't want people to continue to go in the same circle of failure. I told you 2018, opposition won, but did not hold the systems. No wonder why they could not take power away. Because it is the systems that hold power. 2030, they stayed away. Power continued. 2018, the same thing. Roller coaster. 2023, parties changed. Still the same challenge. I am saying once again, as long as there's no answer to how the systems are unlocked, please, you'll be wasting a lot of time. I'm not discouraging you from going wherever you want to go, but I'm still telling you the painful truth that other people are failing to agree or take on. The truth of the matter is, if this is not changed or challenged, or there's no reforms, if I put it that way, if there's no reforms, then it's a waste of time to have opposition. Because the challenges we are having today, where people are saying a lot of things are being stolen, these statements are not being published, it's because not only of the sitting, ruling party, no, it is also to be blamed on the opposition, because this will never happen if there be a vibrant opposition that gives the checks and balances. That's what politics is all about. As long as there's no opposition, people are bound to do whatever they want. I told you Sengezo Shabangu is compromised. His opposition party is a compromised party. So if Advocate Nelson Chamisa is about to come back or promises to come back or says whatever he says, he has got to answer simple questions. What have you done to unlock the systems? Number one. Number two, give us proper party structures that run from the cell, the branches, the province, the national, the international. Let it be known who is who. Let's have a shadow government before you start to challenge Zanu-PF. Then if that is done, you can now talk to me and I'll tell you that now you are a formidable party. Other than that, whatever happens will only benefit the top two within the opposition, just like what happened in the past. Don't talk about stealing from the sitting president and his cabal. No. Even in the opposition, the very same thing happened. Donations were coming from left, right, and center, top, left, top, and bottom, but no one benefited from that. It is the people at the top. So don't come with emotions, come with facts. This needs to be addressed. If you have to tell me that there's going to be an opposition. Other than that, forget it. Let me quote what Comrade Geza wrote today. He says, "This won't happen under our watch. We fought for the freedom of this country, and we are not prepared to see anyone without a military background in the State House. We will stop Emerson and his cabal." And he continued. Hear what he said. We are not prepared to see anyone without a military background in the State House. To those that were Geza fanatics, to those that were following Comrade Geza, I've been saying it and you've been calling me Chigananda. I've been saying it and you've been calling it Chigananda. Go on his tweet. I repeat to read it again. This time for the third time, for other people to understand. I quote from Comrade Blessed Geza's tweet. This won't happen under our watch. We fought for the freedom of this country, and we are not prepared to see anyone without military background in State House. We will stop Emerson and his cabal. They will fight to stop anyone without military background. Chamisa doesn't have military background. Kudata Gwire doesn't have military background. So get it. As much as you might have been saying whatever you have been saying, at this point in time, kudos. Give me a thumbs up for continuing to press on what you don't want to hear, but it's true. Because it is only but the truth that shall set you free. With this, I'm out. Have a good day.